Since our app displays the timing of all the glucose readings of a patient in the UTC time zone, and we evaluate relevant records to be low blood sugar records, which are less than 3.9 millimoles per liter, or high blood sugar records, which are more than 10.1 millimoles per liter in the last 48 hours with respect to our local time zone, I'm showing this table which depicts each glucose record time in our local time zone. In our insulin calculator algorithm, we first search for low blood sugar records that are within valid glucose timings. Since the demonstration was run at 1 p.m. and there are no valid low blood sugar records in the last 48 hours, the relevant glucose records will be 13.5 millimoles per liter, since it is the earliest valid high blood sugar record that is within 48 hours. Next, I'll show a demo of our app for patient 1.
The first part of this webpage displays the glucose records of patient 1. The second part of the webpage displays the insulin medication prescribed to the patient. As mentioned earlier, our relevant glucose record was 13.5 millimoles per liter measured pre-bed. In our insulin calculator algorithm, we find the relevant insulin prescription affecting this condition to be insulin glargine, a long-term acting insulin that is prescribed to be consumed pre-breakfast daily, having a dose of 20 units. In this pop-up box, you can see there is a table that takes the glucose level and the current insulin dose to recommend a modification. Based on our glucose and insulin levels, we look at the second row and first column of this table, which recommends a change of increasing 3 units to the insulin. So the resultant dose will be 23 units.
For this patient 2 scenario, the app was also launched at 1 p.m., so a low blood sugar record 3.7 millimoles per liter was identified to be in the last 48 hours. Next, we will show a demo of our app for patient 2.
The low blood sugar reading was recorded pre-dinner, therefore the relevant insulin prescription is insulin aspart Novo Rapid with a dosage of 13 units to be taken pre-lunch daily. Based on the table shown in this pop-up box, we look at row 1, column 1, which suggests a reduction of 4 units, which results in a final dose modification of 9 units.
Since our app was launched at 1 p.m., earlier records such as the 11 millimoles per liter and the 14.5 millimoles per liter record are no longer relevant as they are outside 48 hours. Therefore, we consider the 13.4 millimoles per liter record taken at 5:15 p.m., 1 day before the launch of the app. Next, we'll show a demo of our app for patient 3.
The high blood sugar reading was recorded pre-dinner, and the relevant insulin order that leads to this condition is Novomix 30 with a dosage of 22 units taken every morning. Based on the table shown in this pop-up box, we can look at row 2 and column 2 of the table and see a recommendation to increase the current insulin dose by 15%. We round down the modified insulin dose to the nearest integer value, and we get a resultant modified dose of 25.
Our app was launched at 11 p.m., therefore the earliest high blood sugar record that was observed was 10.8 millimoles per liter. Next, we'll show a demo of our app for patient 3.
The high blood sugar reading was recorded pre-breakfast, and no matching insulin leading to this record was found. Therefore, the algorithm searches for the second earliest valid record of high blood sugar and found it to be recorded in the same time period, which is pre-breakfast. Our algorithm also identifies supplemental scale insulin. SSI was charted and therefore recommends the comments optisulin at a dose of 0.1 units per milligram.
The insulin calculator returns the same result for patient 5 regardless of the time the app was launched. There are no low blood sugar records for patient 5, and the earliest valid high blood sugar record is 12.7 millimoles per liter.
The high blood sugar record was measured pre-breakfast, and no relevant insulin prescription leading to this condition has been found, and there are no other valid episodes of high blood sugar in the last 48 hours. Therefore, the app recommends no action. After the initial calculation result is displayed from patient data pulled from the FHIR server, clinicians are now permitted to recalculate by entering glucose values, glucose time, and type of modification. The inputs have been validated before further processing. The modified glucose value, glucose time, and insulin dose modification will be displayed in the pop-up box once the recalculation parameters are submitted.